America likes to tell a story about unity. One nation under God, a huge melting pot. One nation under God, indivisible. But from the beginning, there has always been another story. A story shaped by fear. A story shaped by suspicion. A story built on the belief that another group is the reason everything is going wrong. This is the story of us versus them. And in America, that story has centered on race. Racial division in America was not an accident. It was designed. In the 1700s, leaders created laws that separated Europeans from Africans and from indigenous people. These laws were about power. White people were defined as the group that belonged. Black people and indigenous people were defined as the group that did not. This racial line justified slavery. It justified land theft. It justified violence. It shaped the Constitution. It shaped the courts. It shaped the economy. Racism was not a mistake. It was the foundation. After the Civil War, freed black people fought for full citizenship. For a moment, a new America seemed possible. Black communities built schools. Black leaders won elections. Black families claimed their rights. But to many white Southerners, this progress was seen as an abomination. A complete violation of the racial order they believed was ordained by God. Newspapers warned that black political power would destroy society. White preachers said equality was unbiblical. Politicians said black awareness of injustice was dangerous. They treated any sign of black empowerment as what we now call woke. And they wanted it crushed. This fear created a violent response. The Ku Klux Klan and other violent groups emerged. They intimidated and attacked black families and black leaders. White leagues terrorized communities. States rewrote their constitutions to take away voting rights. Thousands of black Americans were lynched. The message was brutal. Any attempt to participate in democracy would be met with violence. The 1920s were seen as a time of excitement and prosperity by some, but prosperity had a color line. After a 30-year absence, the Ku Klux Klan was reborn and reached 8 million members. They vowed to protect what they called real America. This meant attacking black communities. This also meant attacking Jewish communities and immigrants. Black veterans returning from World War I were treated as a threat. Their uniforms were seen as a symbol of defiance. Cities exploded in white on black violence. The Red Summer of 1919 left hundreds dead. To the white power structure, any black progress was unacceptable. When the Great Depression began, racial division deepened even more. New Deal programs helped many white families, but left most black families behind. Redlining blocked black people from buying homes. Farm programs paid white landowners, but left black sharecroppers with nothing. Social Security excluded most black workers. With the country falling apart, leaders used us versus them to redirect anger toward the most vulnerable. Black survival was treated like another form of unwanted awareness. A reminder that inequality was real. World War II was a fight for freedom. But the United States fought that war with segregated units and discrimination at home. Black soldiers saw the contradiction. They were often treated better overseas than at home. How could America fight racism overseas while living with racism at home? When the Great Depression began, racial division deepened. Black workers were the first fired and the last hired. New Deal programs helped many white families, but left most black families behind. Redlining blocked black people from buying homes. Farm programs paid white landowners, but left black sharecroppers with nothing. Social Security excluded most black workers. With the country falling apart, leaders used us versus them to redirect anger toward the most vulnerable. Black survival was treated like another form of unwanted awareness. Another form of being woke. A reminder that inequality was real. World War II was a fight for freedom. But the United States fought that war with segregated units and discrimination at home. Black soldiers saw the contradiction. How could America fight racism overseas while living with racism at home? This created the double victory movement. Victory against fascism abroad. Victory against racism in America. Segregationists said equality was an abomination. Black soldiers returned home wearing uniforms. Some were beaten, some were murdered. Simply demanding respect was treated as rebellion. World War II proved a painful truth. America fought for democracy overseas while denying it to millions at home. In the 1950s and 60s, the civil rights movement exposed the nation's deepest racial divisions. Every step toward equality was met with resistance. Segregationists said integration was an abomination. Politicians labeled activists as radicals. Some called them communists. Some called them troublemakers. Some used early forms of the word woke to mock Black awareness. But Black Americans refused to give up. Children marched in the streets. Freedom riders risked their lives. Communities fought for their rights. The backlash was fierce. Police violence, bombings, white citizens' councils, threats, murders. Fear became a political weapon. Civil rights laws changed the nation. But racial resentment did not disappear. After the 1960s, racism did not end. It changed forms. Policies became race-neutral in language, but not in impact. The war on drugs fueled mass incarceration. Sentencing was unequal. Schools resegregated. Neighborhoods stayed divided. New language replaced old slurs. Words like crime and inner city and law and order were used to signal race without saying race. In the 2000s and 2010s, social media amplified racial division. The word woke was twisted from a call for awareness into an insult used to silence conversations about racism. Today, racial division shows up in policing, in voting rights, in school debates, in the housing market, in the job market, in politics, in social media. The old story of us versus them still shapes American life. Race has been the most powerful dividing line in the history of the United States. But history shows that division is not destiny. It was created, and anything created can be changed. Understanding this story is the first step toward writing a new one. And that is what the Blatant History channel is all about. Please like and subscribe.